What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about Faraday Future, ticker's FFIE. I want to give you a good breakdown of some of the data points, the technicals, what happened with Faraday and why it was green versus the broader market just massively selling off. I want to go over all that. Make sure to first hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So Faraday did close 2.78% in the greens. So nice change of events from the last couple days. That's just been selling off, unfortunately. And I guess when it comes down to Faraday, it wasn't exempt from the broader market sell-off first thing. So it did sell off down to 16.82 cents, but it found some pretty good support around the 17-cent range, and it just started to skyrocket based on that. And in my opinion, it was largely due to this interview. So I'm going to play this near the tail end of the video, but it's basically just Justin Bell, so interviewing right here. So Justin Bell actually was recently announced based on this news right here, if I remember correctly. So on August the 16th, so he did sign a partnership agreement, if I kind of remember right here. So he did sign a sales agreement and a developer co-creation agreement. And Justin Bell is a second generation world champion race car driver from England. So once again, I think this interview was a fairly good thing and caused a nice spike up in the stock price. So I'm going to go over all the data points, starting off with options activity. So today there was $8,433 in calls being purchased, which is fairly good compared to the last couple of days. It's definitely been lagging overall, I guess, the frequency. Versus puts though is $292, so very small. And even if you look back over the last 45 days, there's a lot of optimism. So a grand total of $1.04 million in calls versus 567 in puts. So for the longest time, people do believe that Faraday should be going up. Just the bigger forces and a lot of manipulation happening behind the scenes is just holding it back. When it comes down to Faraday though, well, I guess more specifically the broader market starting off with, just big money was taking a step back. But when it comes down to Faraday though, definitely had a lot of good eyes on it. So 67.09 million shares being traded today versus 59.79 is the average. So I know it's not crazy amount over the average, but in comparison to a lot of other EVs and a lot of other growth stocks, definitely Faraday stood out. And when it comes down to, for instance, dark pool transactions, there was no transactions over $100,000, similar nature to the secondary market. So no transactions over 100,000 since it looks like the 21st, so August the 21st. And then as far as right here, so shorts, I'll give you guys a quick overview of what shorts did and all the other fun jazz. So short score is currently 79, utilization is 96.22%. And also on a side note, you do see a ton of people talking on how Faraday is going to be having a very epic short squeeze, and that's on a lot of different social media platforms. So who knows, that might come true, might not. You guys always do your own due diligence, but shorts did increase 549,000 shares. So the way I interpret the fact that they do increase on a green day, it shows that they are doubtful and not really believing and or thinking that it's justified to go green. Because keep in mind, the broader market, you can kind of see the indexes floating up here. Just the NASDAQ in among itself was down almost 2%. So everything was just selling off. So that's clearly where shorts are coming from, but 22.28% of the free float is being shorted, and that is very, very high. But 287.06 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 9.39%. So like I said, I do feel on paper this does have everything that you need to have a good squeeze, such as a fairly high cost to borrow, good utilization, a lot of shares being shorted. The only thing that you do generally need is a surprise catalyst. So once again, and I guess as well, just the market working in your favor. Typically, it's hard to have a squeeze during a massive sell-off. So once again, let me know you guys' thoughts on that in the comments below. As far as what was being redirected today, so normally, I guess over the last 30 days, 59.36% of all the volume is redirected off of the exchange to the dark pool versus 57.52, so a little bit lower. So the fact that it did close green and there was this little bit more of a variance from the norm, I guess, if you want to call it that, clearly shows that maybe someone behind the scenes, maybe a market maker, did want Faraday to close slightly green. I'm not really sure why, for whatever benefit, but let me know you guys' thoughts. But a lot of people want to know what is coming next for Faraday. So of course, the fact that it did bounce off of the 17-cent mark is a very strong support, but outside of that though is around 17.87, and with it being at 18.5 right now, it is currently trading between this S2 and this S1. So when it comes down to Faraday, I've already said this many times, and I probably will continue to say this, the fact is looking at a lot of these spreads is very wide. So there's going to be a lot of volatility. You have to be comfortable for it to potentially go down to 17 and then 1 second go up to 21. That is what is exactly going to happen with Faraday. And in the case where people are talking that's going to have a epic squeeze, that's just going to cause so much more volatility, because once again, going over here, having 22.2% of the free float being shorted is just very high based on what Faraday does have coming around the corner operationally and just all the agreements that they're doing. So once again, I'd kind of lean on the side, the fact that I do agree that there could be a fairly good squeeze. And if so, then yes, it could definitely go up. But for a squeeze to occur, you need everything, all the dominoes to line up perfectly. But like I mentioned, as of right now, 17.87 cents, that's what you really need to watch for going into tomorrow to hold, and vice versa, 21.64 cents is that next strong resistance. And as far as this, you can tell the number of retail investors were kind of flat today. So I think right now with the broader market just selling off, I don't think anyone was really going all in, but based on the volume, clearly some big money was getting in to some regard. And over and above that though, looking at stochastic, it is currently at 7, which is considered oversold, but there isn't any defined trend right now. So once again, let me know you guys' thoughts on that in the comments below. And then one final thing I just wanted to share with you, take advantage of promos such as this with Moomoo, link in the description below and also the comments, completely free to sign up for an account. But if you do throw $100 at it, you get 5 free stocks. Each stock can be valued up to $2,000 and you get a $50 cash reward. So that is a pretty sweet win-win, only up until August the 31st. And with that said though, I'm just going to quickly play that interview for you guys, and then you guys can let me know your thoughts and all of that other fun jazz. So without further ado, I appreciate you guys watching.
Well, hello everyone, I'm Justin Bell and I'm here at the 72nd Pebble Beach 𝗖𝗡𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧. This is the center of the car world for this 1 week in August. Now, people come from all over the world for one reason, because this is the place to be seen. Now, a newcomer onto the Pebble Beach fairways, where literally the most famous cars ever built have appeared, is this. It's the new Faraday Future 2.0, and I'm very proud to be one of the latest co-creators on this, but I'm even more excited to bring you 3, I think, of the most important people here on the peninsula today. First up, I have 𝗖𝗧𝗧𝗧, who is the founder of Faraday Future. A great honor to have you here. Yeah. That's great. And then Max, who is heading up the product side of things. It's a very exciting day because Pebble Beach, 𝗖𝗧𝗧𝗧, is about the past. Pebble Beach is about cars that made history, from Duesenberg to Ferrari to Porsche to Ford to Bugatti. It's incredible. Now, with your vision, you have the Faraday Future here. What is it like for you, the emotion, to have your car in Pebble Beach?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I really appreciate you inviting us here for the interview. We are grateful to be part of this most luxurious event in the traditional automotive world. We hope our presence here serves as the Pebble Beach 𝗖𝗡𝗡𝗖𝗧 bridge to the future. Powered by all ability I have a car, FF aims to write the history of the future with our ultimate AI tech luxury.
Maybe one day there will be a car on the lawn, an EV in 50 years, you know? Maybe this. But you love cars. Yes, you love the car.
Yes.
What is your emotion to be here in Pebble Beach?
Oh, Justin, your insights are on point. With the technology transforming industries, Faraday Future is all about breaking down traditional perceptions and redefining what holds value in the future. Our arrival signifies the automotive civilization's evolution from history to future, traditional luxury to ultimate AI tech luxury, conflicting performance and safety to their unity, and single product ability to all ability.
Wow, incredible. And Max, you're part of bringing this amazing new species of vehicle to the future. what does it mean on the journey? 9 years, and now you have a car here.
Well, finally, you know, after 9 years, we have this car launch. So we're super excited to be here, to be part of the Pebble Beach. As you correctly said, this is about the history, about how, you know, the human, you know, amazingly made the automotive industry very, very successful. So finally, we're here. I think we're going to be very important. I hope we're going to contribute a lot in the future into this Pebble Beach. And as you said, probably in the 50 years, or 10 years, 9 years, 50 years, people gonna talk about Faraday and continue to talk about Faraday, and we're gonna continue to, you know, build the future together for this AI, tech luxury, intelligent future.
Wow. Well, I've talked to the two guys that have been making it happen. Now let me talk to the chairman of the Pebble Beach company, Mrs. Sandra Button. Okay? Yeah. Let's go meet Sandra.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
So this is the founder, 𝗖𝗓𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧. We're like in the top 8 richest people in China. Okay. He's got $4 billion in this car right now, and they are going to come back big next year.
Good.
Well, Sandra, we're almost ready for the 72nd Pebble Beach 𝗖𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧. I know your time is busy, but I also know we're sitting in a seat in a car that is representing the future, in the Faraday future, but you've sat in a lot of seats over the years, 35 years. The car industry has changed beyond your imagination. Do you enjoy seeing the past, the present, and the future?
Oh, I think that the weekend of Pebble Beach is like a mobile museum. So we look all the way back to the beginning of the idea of the car. We go through all the generations of the cars, the beautiful classics, all luxury like you see here in this beautiful vehicle. And then we look forward with the concept cars. And, well, we all have a passion for cars.
Yeah.
Live, breathe, and think about cars because they're the best.
And, of course, electric cars have been on the field. But because 100 years ago, Jay Leno owns a 120-year-old electric car. I mean, we started off with EVs in a way.
Oh, you know, at the beginning of the automobile, people really didn't know, were they going to use white fuel, like kerosene almost? Yeah. Were they going to use steam? They even had hybrids, electrics. I mean, we think all these ideas are new. And of course, they're applied in a new fashion. Yeah. But yes, you're right. They go back over 100 years.
You said it's like a museum. It is. It's like a kaleidoscope. It's like the whole history of the automobile, but also how it affected culture and society. It's a reflection. The muscle cars of the 60s were representative of America's might. You know, and in England we had little cars because we had no might. You know, we had Rolls Royce. Do you enjoy seeing how cars, or do you think cars shape the people, or did people shape the cars?
I think for sure people shaped the cars, that there was a time for, you know, mobility. What an idea. Yeah. I mean, you know, in olden times, people could really only find a girlfriend or a boyfriend for as far as they could walk. Yeah. Imagine what mobility, we can travel the world, and sometimes people wanted ultimate luxury. Yeah. You know, a coach-built car like this, I can see myself very happily driving. I want to feel how this car is to drive. Yeah. But sitting in the back here, I feel like I'm in a coach-built car, you know, from the 20s or 30s. Yeah. Enjoying that luxury.
So this year, you said that it's probably one of the most competitive years for Best of Show that you have ever seen. Why is that? Why are we heading towards this apex of the best cars, the best collectors, the best fans? What is it?
You know, winning Pebble Beach, there's only one Best of Show winner. And we get thousands of cars apply. We whittle that down to about 200 cars that come to the field. Day of show, you have to win your class. So then you're one of 27 cars in the winner's circle. Yeah. And only one car wins. So as you go into the show, I bet there's maybe 100 people sitting here today thinking, I finally got my car to Pebble Beach. I'm on the field at Pebble Beach and I'm going to be the winner, but there's only one. So it's quite something to aspire to.
And why is this event? I mean, you're biased, I'm biased, but I said it last night, it's Pebble Beach, full stop, period. Why is that?
I think Pebble Beach attracts the very best collectors, and they push all of us with their passion and their passion for perfection. They bring the best cars, and it's our responsibility to have very, very qualified judges. You know, it doesn't mean anything to win a competition if it's fixed or if the judges aren't correct.
Yeah.
But at Pebble Beach, everyone feels like we have to make sure the very best car wins. And then winning really means something. And that means something probably long-term to the value of your car. But I think in the heart of the person, it's an achievement.
So finally, let's go forward 50 years. Can you imagine vehicles like the Faraday Future, vehicles like all the other brands that have EVs now, they could be on the field in 50 years?
Absolutely. I think it's important to note that Pebble Beach is very organic. So the ideas come from the enthusiasts. They come to me and they say, yesterday I did a talk and someone came to me and said, have you ever thought of having these important Indy cars that have won Indianapolis come to Pebble Beach? And I said, well, why don't you send me a letter and tell me about the cars? Well, it's the same for everything on the field. So it comes from the ideas of the enthusiasts. And the restorers come to me and say, oh, I know that I have an 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗡𝗖𝗧 in restoration. I know 2 others that are in restoration because we're talking to each other about getting the cars perfect. Maybe we should have a class of those. So I think with these EV cars, it's going to be the same way, that the enthusiasts are going to bring the very best cars together and bring them to Pebble Beach.
Well, we hope so. Well, I don't know if we'll be around, but they'll be. But thank you for sitting with me. This is the future, but now we're going to go back and judge the past, aren't we? All right. Do you want me to drive you around? I'm a good chauffeur.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
We'll kick Martin out, and I'll do it. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you.
All right.
Now.
You're so funny.
And that's just your favorite image to start off with, isn't it? Just like, could you be happier? No, I know. There's the cars. That's great.
Where our post-war
No, I mean,
that was a Pegaso.
Yeah.
increasing as the Concorde
Look
gets
at it
older,
as we do
the
it.
span of cars
Well, there we are.
Yeah, we are. This is
We can sit and have a little plate.
Most